and I'm going to synthesize these ones. What do the panel view as the key elements in designing a system to increase the customer service levels in their organization? So there's been a few questions about, we're talking about customer service levels and increasing them. Several questions, one from here in Toronto and another one from Hamilton. Questions were, what do you as a panelist see as some of the key components or elements that are paramount to increasing customer service levels? And is there anybody who would like to go first, or maybe Ian? I'll go, and then Mark, if you'd like to go right after that. Sure.
Thanks very much, Stefan, and thank you to the writer, I guess it is, for the question. I think the number one issue in terms of starting out customer service from soup to nuts is visibility. Automobile dealers not only compete with other brands, but they compete within their brand. So if you were going to buy an automobile today and you were looking at manufacturer X, it's not just that we're competing in that landscape for your business with all the other 29 manufacturers. We're competing with each other because there are a number of places you can go and spend that $30,000 or more on a motor vehicle. So visibility is very important. Accessibility of information. Quite often customers in the car business will come in and they are, in this day and age, an incredible, regardless of their age, actually, they are a very educated consumer. So I think giving them the tools that they need to come in and be an educated consumer, that's very important. So technology drives a lot of that. I mean, I think everybody will be surfing the internet to get the information that they need to give them all the tools to walk into the dealership and feel confident that they know about the models, the manufacturer, the warranty details, and the pricing. But also follow-up. Quite often in business, you'll hear the old, it's kind of a joke, but don't confuse sales with delivery. In other words, once the salesperson closes the deal, they disappear from the landscape and the customer's left sort of bewildered. That's rule number 2, if you will. Visibility, rule number 1, but rule number 2 is don't fall off the face of the earth because your customer will, at the end of the day, not be happy about that.
And Mark, when you first I know some of the questions are, where do you start with that? Is that a database? How do you the follow-ups? Is there a contact relationship management systems? I mean, getting detail. Mark, when you started this endeavor, how did you start, and what are the key elements moving it forward, and what do you use?
We built out a database using an open source tool called MySQL, and it was really the basis for everything that that I've been speaking about today. And it's allowed us to build out our back-end database and CRM and vendor management tool, as well as the entire front-end experience that customers deal with when they come to our site. And specifically how that has been able to increase customer service, or what that means to us, I would focus on 2 things. The first of which is the ease of access, and everyone here has been speaking about this. But the idea that you can access all the information about our product, or about the account, or even someone who is a new customer that's just simply researching the market, that they can find that all in one place. And there's no question that applies for government as well as it applies to our private business. So ease of access. And number 2 is transparency. And I spoke about this a little bit in the opening remarks, that empowered employees, or employees that have access to everything that relates to a customer or a vendor, any transaction that has taken place, has been critically important to our business. And it means that the staff that work at Wrightsley really feel empowered and feel as though they're partners in the entire process. So all that information is open, which makes them better at delivering a better customer service experience for our customers.
Minister, did you?
Yeah, I don't know what I did here. Okay, thanks. I think the first thing that we need to realize is that organization survival depends upon the customer. I think that's the fundamental. If we don't service our customer well, the organization in the long haul can't survive. Then you might ask the question, how does that really apply to the government? Because government has the sort of monopoly on these services, so people have to come and get these services. I think that's where it comes, is that we need to give people the options. They can go to 300 Service Ontario centers, or they can actually go on on the internet or online to get these services. So if they don't get the kind of the service they need at the ServiceOntario, people will opt for services on the online. So the people who work in these customer service centers, they need to realize that their survival depends upon providing the customer service. The second point is the leadership. I think the leadership definitely needs to be absolutely committed in providing service that is second to none. And they should be determined to do that. I think if we can really agree on those two fundamental basics, and of course, I mean, that needs to be followed up with a good plan and a good vision and resources behind it as well. But those are two really fundamentals from my point of view.
Okay, and Bob, how does the government go about, what are the key elements when you started designing or moving forward?
Thank you. For me, there are two fundamentals in providing high-quality service. First is to deal with the structural pieces, the technology, or in the example that the minister has used, our restructuring of our 300 locations to at least allow service to be provided through a one-stop shop. So we have a number of structural things like that that need to be dealt with. And then I think the real customer experience comes from how engaged the people are who are serving the public and those who are supporting the people who are serving the public. And there's strong research that I'm sure everybody here is aware of, that high employee engagement and high customer satisfaction are directly linked, in the processes that people have to use are key to being able to deliver the quality of service. For ServiceOntario in particular, the first issue we have is one of access. Citizens don't know where to go to get government services fundamentally, so our brand needs to be associated with where you should go at least first to try to get services. And then the other element that government fights is timeliness. It just takes too long. I mean, think about how many people come to our offices and what they're thinking as they come into the office and how long they're going to spend there. And I'm pleased to tell you that if we actually do get to deal with a citizen face-to-face, their satisfaction level is very high. It will get higher as we deal with the timeliness element of our business.